Hi, I'm Judah Sharp and I'm 15 years old.
Hi, my name is Flourish.
Hello, my name is Beaver.
Hi, I'm Luke.
Hi, my name is Joshua.
Hi, I'm Chloe.
My name is Progress.
My name's Cheyenne.
My name is Reba Shalan and I'm from India.
Hi, my name is Ruth Riddock.
Hi, my name is Abby.
I became a Christian last year, so I decided to come to Christ at Limitless Festival in August. So we had someone come up and share their testimony, and they asked a question at the end is that raise your hand if you have probably done something terrible and you completely regret it, right? And you've asked God for forgiveness many times, and at that moment I knew I've been doing that, and obviously I do regret what I've been doing. So and I raised my hand up and just pointed out obviously I've done this terrible thing, and obviously I do regret it, and I've forgiven a lot about it to God. So after that, so when I raised my hand, and then people from the church just started gathering around, just praying for me, and just obviously praying about that Jesus just forgives you, and obviously no matter what you've done, no matter what the circumstances or consequences are, that Jesus will just fix it and solve it, so you don't need to worry. And obviously I was feeling God's presence at the time, and I could just feel this amount of erupt in my body of the Holy Spirit, and it was amazing, because when Fraser kind of says kind of feel your body kind of heats up and you feel it, and obviously sometimes you may lose balance, but there's nothing wrong with that, because it's obviously a great feeling to have when Jesus is just filling you with the Holy Spirit. So that's how I became a Christian.
I grew up in a Christian household, so I've been going to church for as long as I can remember. But I've never really been a follower of God because I didn't really pay attention to what He had for me. So I was always a Christian. I gave my life to Christ at the Limitless Festival last year because I knew I could find myself and my worth in Him. We were praying for each other in this big room, and people laid their hands on me. And before I knew it, I felt Jesus. I don't know how to explain it, but it was all the weight was already off me. I found a new kind of joy. I've accepted the fact that I am a child of God, and I've cried, and I was shaking, but I couldn't control the way I reacted to the Holy Spirit and the presence of God. I remember when I went out of the building, I felt so good, and I felt so amazing. I gave my life to Him, but I didn't do it alone. I done it with my friends because I think it's really important to have relationships within the Christian community because they will build you up, they will support you and uplift you. And I've also had the most amazing youth leader I could ever ask for. So God bless you, Lee. So I think it was on the 9th of August, 2023.
I've been a Christian for as long as I can remember. It's mainly because as a child, my parents always brought me to church. But when it comes to the decision of fully following Jesus and His Word, it actually wasn't that long ago. I gave my full attention and focus onto God at Limitless Festival. It was the time where I really wanted to engage and be a part of this journey.
I think I gave my life to Christ when I was 8 or 9, so around 2016, 2017. But I can't really remember back that far. But I think that's when I gave my life to Christ. Yeah, my faith's probably been more progressive because I was born in a Christian family and I've been going to church all my life. But it took me some time myself to actually get to the point of believing in God, then giving Him my all.
I became a Christian first time coming to Limitless. I was at church a couple of times before that, and then I heard about Limitless. And Jordan was taking me over, and we stopped in at the gym for a baptism for a lot of family and friends, and for the baptism, and someone asked me if I wanted to take God into my life, and I felt like that time was right, and I was a bit nervous and also excited to do it, but I've just done it, and ever since I've never regretted it.
I've always grew up in the church, and then I left the church when I was a teenager, and I went down the wrong path. It didn't lead me anywhere, and I came back to God, and then my life changed.
I'll say I became a Christian through my grandmother. Then with my grandma, going to church. Yeah, that's how I became a Christian. Although I was born in a church, but not this kind of church. So there was a time I went to the Elim church with my friend. Took me to the church. So I was inside the church. I felt that's how I give my life to Christ again and to become a Christian.
So I became a Christian, I would say, 3 to 4 years ago. My life's had ups and downs, and initially I moved to the UK with my dad in 2000. I was 2.5, 3 years old. He gave his life to Jesus a few years after we came to the UK. So I've pretty much I grew up in the church. Most of my life until I was a teenager, where I decided I don't have to go anymore, because I was free to stay at home and do other things. And but I always told myself one day, when I'm older, promise myself, to be honest, that when the time's right, I'll go back and.
I was born and brought up in a Christian family, so it was always my mom who taught me all the values, and she told me that God could be my best friend and I can share everything with him, and he's never gonna tell anyone, with no judgment and whatsoever. So that's how it started, and yeah, that's how my Christian life started. And whenever I'm angry, whenever I'm happy, it was all through him. I had all the good things because it was through his grace and mercy. I would not be here if it was not for him. That is said. I don't have to do it like that. I cannot imagine a life without him.
I was born into a Christian family. My grandfather is actually a pastor in Jamaica, so being a Christian was fundamental in our family. It was what we did. It was almost like following a trend.
So for me, I guess I don't necessarily have a huge turning point story into becoming a Christian, which is something that I'm eternally grateful for. Growing up being a pastor's kid, I've always grown up in a Christian household, grown up around Christians, and it's always had a huge influence on me in my life. Going into my teenage years, I kind of started to grow more in my faith, attending youth events, going to youth groups, and all those different things were a huge encouragement to me. The move to Glasgow was also a huge encouragement to me in my faith. Back then, I would have told you absolutely not. I am not moving, no way, what? But now looking back on it, it's something I'm so thankful for. Looking back on the people I've met, the opportunities I've had while I've been here, and the way that I've been able to grow in my relationship with God and my faith has been incredibly encouraging, and so thanks Dad, I guess. The other people that I really have been a huge encouragement to me in my faith and my journey being a Christian are my aunt and uncle, Andrew and Shalina. They have been my biggest role models throughout my faith and growing up being a Christian in my teenage years. They have given me so much helpful advice. They've been such an encouragement to me. And I genuinely don't think I would be here getting baptised today if it wasn't for them and the love and encouragement and support that they've shown me throughout my life.
So the impact Jesus has given me in my life is definitely incredible. For, I would say, definitely just helping me out in the tough times, because obviously for our family we've been going through a lot of tough and rough situations, but it's amazing that how God's always been there to provide and help out and support for my family, and also like for me as an individual, like when I'm at school, and obviously like it's tough, and I know it can get like you'll have highs and lows, but obviously like no matter like what happen, like God will always like be there to help me out and help out for no matter what the situation is. So like if I'm in exams, like obviously I can always trust God and like pray for him, and he's made an impact through the exams and prelims that I've went. So yeah.
Jesus has made me feel the love he has for me, the kind of love that you cannot get from anyone else. I was ensured safety with him, that I am going to be okay, that I can't go through, and that he's with me all the time. Ever since, I've had the understanding that when I cannot rely on my friends or even on my own family, he's already there waiting for me to tell him what's on my heart, because he's a good father. I've known that I don't have to worry for my future whatsoever, because he already lives in my yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He has a plan for me, and he cares for me, and he loves me all the way through.
The difference he made in my life is crazy. He showed me a path I never thought would bring me this much excitement and adventure. He made my life so calm and peaceful. God just makes my path clearer. Of course, there's loads of things coming our way that are meant to test our faith, but God has a purpose for what he's doing, and I trust him.
Jesus has had a really big impact on my life. When I started like getting into him seriously and like actually believing in him and trusting him, my confidence grew like a lot, and stuff that like I was scared to do before, or like too nervous or too shy to speak out or stuff, I would feel confident because I knew God was always there for me and always wanted what's best for me, to name one thing.
Since I became a Christian, Jesus has always been there for me. I feel like he's always looking over me and helped me through a lot of challenges, overcoming challenges in my life, and it's been good for having a relationship with my mum, coming to church every morning and praising the Lord. And
God's changed my life. He's restored me. He's made me a new creation. Like I used to deal with a lot of things, and God's took that away and healed me. He's been there through the darkest of times, and he's never left me. He's gave me confidence. He's made me so much happier as a person, and I'm all better now.
I say I was on and off. Like my behavior was not. I won't say it was bad. It was bad, but not that bad. I just do stuff without thinking. Stuff. So I was like, I started drinking a lot and feeling lonely and stuff like that. And that was like from back home till I came here. So I was just like that because of the group I was with and my friends and everything. Yeah. Jesus has changed my mentality, the way I think about stuff. So, now, those stuff doesn't like, I don't get interested with those stuff anymore. I don't feel like doing those stuff anymore. I'm grateful because he has changed the way I used to be, and he has helped me a lot in stuff. I think he has made a big difference because before, the way I used to say the whole stuff, I didn't know it was like you're gonna have a relationship with Jesus. So I was thinking it's about like doing it's just a religion, acting like this. You're supposed to act like this, do stuff and like this. But now reading the Bible, I see things different. I see like everything is like having a relationship with Jesus, and like before I see like I feel like if you're not Christian, you're not loved by God and stuff like that. But See, God loves everyone. Yeah, but if you're not Christian, yeah, God loves everyone. So before I used to think like, okay, God only bless the Christians and so doesn't bless the unjust, just the just people and stuff like that. But now, yeah, I see things different. After reading the Bible and stuff like that. I'm different now because I think before I do something, and I don't feel like the way I used to feel about myself. So I feel like freedom and stuff like that. Not too much worry. So yeah, I think that's the impact. So I'm trying to get better every day through Jesus.
Jesus had a big impact on my life, to be honest. It's opened doors for me where I didn't think was possible. Put me in situations where, again, I didn't think I would be in today. There's been moments in my life where I've been in bad situations, but for some reason I've come out of it without being hurt, and I give credit to that to Jesus. I spent, I think, let's say from the age of 16, 15, due to the circumstances of the areas I'm growing up, the surroundings, hanging with the wrong people, ended up in drugs, drinking, gangs, things which I regret, but I also ended up having big addiction for, I'd say, maybe 7, 8 years of my life, which I tried to stop myself, realized not possible, kept trying myself, kept failing, kept trying, kept failing. But one night, I remember I was in Edinburgh. I went home. On the train journey, I felt like this is enough. If it's not something I can do, but I gave in and decided to ask God for help. I remember the moment I got home, the first thing I did, I took off my jacket and I sat on the floor. I've got a window in my living room at the side. I opened the curtain because I wanted some light to come in. But I just sat there, looked outside on my knees, and I cried for 30 minutes, 1 hour. Asked for help. Asked God. I've had enough of this. I want to live a life for myself in the future. I don't want to live this anymore. Repented at that moment. This was, I would say, 4 years ago, and woke up the next day, and I've not looked back since. So just felt like a whole different person, and from that day on, I've not went back to what I used to do. And I give full credit to Jesus, because I tried myself and it didn't work. But that day when I sat there and I prayed and repented, I felt like I felt the power of God, and I felt His power, and it's something I can't deny.
It's like, what do I say? There's a tornado going around, and yet still I was able to find peace. He named me Peace. My grandmother is a prophet, so she is someone who is very much into God, and yeah, she could speak in tongues, and she was able to tell us what he was saying. So they named me Peace. My name's meaning is peace. So yeah, and even when things were tough and it was like when it was a mumble jumble with my family, with my dad's family, and sort of things were going on, he was always there. He told me that, it's okay. I'm there. I'm always protecting you. You'll always have your peace. I just asked him what will be my next step, what will be the next plan, and even through all my mistakes, even when I'm imperfect, he knew that I am someone who's enough to be loved, and he gave me that love, and I always knew that that he would be here for me, and
I didn't realise what impact Jesus was having until I left the family home and went to university, but chose to find solace at church and chose to surround myself with his people. And I found that when I moved to Glasgow and then back to see my family, I didn't want to go to church with them. I wanted to find my own church and find my own way and have my own relationship with Jesus. And now I can't imagine not getting up in the morning and doing a devotional and not having a conversation with him and not praising him when something good goes well, and not praising him when I'm going through something difficult, because I know he'll always bring me through it. So my relationship with Jesus has got closer and closer and closer, and there's no living without him.
Jesus has had a huge impact on my life and has impacted me in so many different ways, from having huge anxiety attacks the night before an exam, only knowing 3 questions, going into the exam and those exact 3 questions, showing up and getting a B in that subject, to getting to see people give their lives to Jesus because of the influences that I've had on them, from praying for people and seeing them get healed, from getting an appeal in a subject that there was no way I was getting that appeal for it, getting into university, so many different ways that looking back on it, I realise that Jesus had an impact in those situations, and I'll forever and always be grateful for all of those situations that have been grateful.
So I would like to be baptised today because I just feel like now's the best time for me now going into exams, and obviously now just starting to get out of them as well, and I feel like now's the time to probably kind of start a new life with God and just keep following him and trusting him for everything he's done for me through my life. So I feel like now's probably the best time to do it, because I know it's starting a new life with God and trusting him and following him was the best decision that I could do right now. So that's why I feel like I should be getting baptised today.
I want to get baptized because I want to walk with God fully, knowing that I'm not going to let anything or anyone separate me from his love. A big part of it is that I've wanted to leave the past in the past, and I've wanted to be transformed and step into the new life that he has to offer, because I know that the things that I've struggled with, the things that drew me closer to the lies of the world, have to be left behind. I don't want the past to be even the tiniest piece of me anymore, because I know my sins and I know what happened when I tried to ignore God, and I don't want to go back to that, because the devil knows my name but he calls me by my sins, and Jesus knows my sins but calls me by my name, and I don't care what anyone says, but that already sounds like the promised and happy everlasting life that he has to offer.
I want to get baptized because I want my old life to die, and I want to start a new life with God. It's the best and right path to choose. I want to commit to this way of living. I love how God has been working in my life and others. He showed me so much mercy and love. I am excited for what's still to come. Getting baptized is the start of something new, a new chapter in my life.
I want to get baptized today because I'm at a point where I have decided to fully go in for God and just give him all of me and trust him for everything and be with him through everything.
I want to be baptised because I feel like it's the next step in my life to becoming a Christian, and I feel like it's a very big step in my life to be taking, and I've been thinking about it for a good while now, and it's came up and I feel like it's something that I've wanted to do.
I'm getting baptised today because I want to do more for God. I I want to grow with him, and I give my life to him.
I think it's because I feel like I want to be more committed to feel like I've not changed my way and I've not started following Jesus fully. I feel like I'm committed to following Jesus.
I want to be baptized because I feel like it's been a long time coming for me, and with everything Jesus has done for me, it's the least I could do, and I feel like it's like the sermon Fraser gave towards the end of February, where it was about Moses, where he said, "Here I am." I feel like it's my turn to come in front of God and be like, "I'm ready, and my life is in your hands, and here I am."
Okay, it's like there's this verse where he says that he cleanses me, and then I would be washed by his blood, and then I would be whiter than the snow. I think that's very beautiful, and I want to experience it. And even in life, I wanted things to go in my way. I was never willing to give up control. After coming here for the past few weeks, even in the messages that was going in the church, it was like, lose control, give everything to me, give the steering wheel to me, I'll take control. He always said that, and I was not willing to give up on that because I kept asking. I wanted things to go in my way. It's like, I want this, I want that, my heart's desires and stuff. But few weeks back, I was like, I'm done. I don't want things to go in my way. I'm gonna give it to you. Wherever you take me, just keep me happy and make me live in a peaceful way. That's the only thing that I want. And then I asked him to tune my lens, like how our pastor used to say. So the next thing I knew that you guys posted this baptism thing in the Instagram page, and I registered myself and I wanted to do it. So I knew that this was going to be the next step, and I wanted to declare that now. I was always afraid, like, what if I fall short? I'm not a perfect person. I'm not going to be who you want me to be. There are so many things which is difficult for a Christian. What if I fall short? That was always the question, and that was keeping me from, doing this. But now I'm like, I'm not going to live without you. I'm going to follow your rules. I'm going to be the way that you want me to be, but I cannot do that without your help. That also I need you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this.
I want to be baptised because it's my choice. I was raised in a Church of England kind of church, so baptism wasn't an option. I was christened as a baby. I was confirmed at 11 or 12 when I chose, but this is now, my sister was baptised about a year ago, and I was like, I'm not ready. And I couldn't decide why I wasn't ready, and because I felt I didn't know enough. And now studying the Bible, reading it in a year and doing all these Bible plans, I've learned so much about Jesus, but I can read the same verse 2 days later and find something new and grasp something new. So I know I'm never going to know enough. So there's no point in waiting. It's time now. It's time now to be baptised, fully immersed, and saying not just to myself, but to the world, I am Jesus' child. You will not take that away from me. I will not give him up. This is my personal dedication to him. It's not just words, it's my action and my doing. And my doing to be more like Christ means going through some of the things that he's been through. And baptism is one of those magnificent things I want to do. So this is it.
I have decided to get baptised today because I feel like it's the next step in my faith and the right move going forward. I feel like a lot as a pastor's kid, there's a huge spotlight on your faith and there's a huge spotlight on what you're doing next, and for me this is a way of saying that my faith is my own and taking it into my own hands.